Hello students, I am Mohini Bhatia, English mistress from Government High School, Sherpur Kala, Ludhiana. Welcome you all to the third part of the chapter, Where is Science Taking Us, from main course book of class 10th. I hope you have watched the first two parts of this chapter and understood the text read in these videos. So, on the basis of your study of the chapter in the previous lectures, let's fill in the blanks displayed on the screen. These are actually the key points of the text that you have read till now. I'm giving you some time for doing this activity. Let's read these blanks first and think about the words to be filled in your blanks. So, first is according to the writer, science has limited itself to dash things. Number two, science is doing dash with regard to ethical and spiritual values. Number three, dash have given humans abnormal powers. Number four, science has no dash over the consequences of producing goods. Number five, man should use his dash powers to think his way out to solve the problems created by science. And number six is the ultimate aim of science should be to make human life dash on this earth. On the basis of your understanding of the text in the previous two lectures, fill in the blanks. I'm giving you some time for it. Your time is up. So let's discuss the answers here. Number one is, according to the writer, science has limited itself to material things. Number two, science is doing less than nothing with regard to ethical and spiritual values. Number three, machines have given humans abnormal powers. Number four is science has no control over the consequences of producing goods. Number five, man should use his creative powers to think his way out to solve the problems created by science. And number six is the ultimate aim of science should be to make human life worthwhile on this earth. So I hope these key points discussed just now would have refreshed your memory of the previous two lectures. So now let's start reading the third and the last part of the text. Let's have a model reading of the text first. What is really needed in the world today, perhaps more than ever before, is not some new world shattering discovery in nuclear physics or some breathtaking discovery in chemistry or medicine. The advance for which the world is waiting, beyond any doubt, is a small advance, a slight advance in charity, in understanding, forbearance, tolerance, justice, and mercy. That is what the world is waiting for, and waiting rather anxiously. But charity and tolerance and forbearance and the understanding of one another are non material matters. And in non material things, in the simplest social things, science has been helpless. It cannot even help us to distinguish good from evil. Maybe this will not always be so. Who knows? It is quite probable that someday science will effect an improvement in the human brain itself. Not a structural improvement, but in structure, the human brain is the greatest miracle of all. Its understanding will come last, but there might well be a functional improvement. This is Far from fantastic. The advances in science might one day will increase capacity and reasoning power of the brain itself. I should say there is little doubt that man will one day improve on the natural man, raise his intellectual status, and give him greater power of reasoning and understanding. He might have sufficient reason and understanding to abolish war. Whether that will be so, whether and he will have a better understanding of his fellow men. That remains to be seen. It brings us back to the question, where is science taking us? Despite the present vicissitudes, we are going somewhere. There are troublesome times ahead, but those who fear for the future are the craven in spirit. For life is becoming more and more interesting, intriguing, and exciting. I wish I had another 100 years. So, before discussing the text, let's go through the glossary words first. First word given here is advance. Advance means progress, especially in your knowledge of something. To advance an event or the time or date of an event means to bring it forward to an earlier time or date. Next word is slight. Slight means small. Next, third word is forbearance. Forbearance means patience. That means to tolerate something or someone. Number four is anxiously, means cautiously. Or you can say it is a way that shows you are worried or nervous. And the last word on the screen is tolerance. It also means patience and it is your capacity to endure pain or hardships. Now, I hope that the meanings of these words are clear to you. So let's try to understand the text displayed on your screen. According to the author, science has done tremendous progress in material things. Some new world shattering discoveries in different fields have been witnessed by us. But the author states that these things are not sufficient. What the world really needs today is a slight advance, a small progress in values like charity, understanding, forbearance, tolerance, justice, and mercy. This is what the world is waiting for anxiously. But these are non material things. Another set of difficult words from the next slide is displayed on your screen now. Let's first learn the meanings of these words before reading the text. So, first word given here is distinguish. Distinguish means the word that tells the difference or to tell the difference. Suppose you win the lottery, you will have to learn to distinguish between the people who really like you and people who like your money. So, distinguish means to tell the difference. Now, second is fantastic. Fantastic means wonderful. If you say that something is fantastic, you are emphasizing that you think it is very good. And next word is probable. Probable means possible. So, now you have understood the meanings of these words. Let's start discussing the text displayed on the screen. Author states that science has been helpless in non-material things. It cannot help us to distinguish good from evil. But the author maintains a very optimistic attitude towards the situation. He hopes that one day science will bring about a functional improvement in the human mind. and give it greater power of reasoning and understanding. Let's learn the meanings of these words now, and then we shall proceed to the next slide. So the first word here is abolish. Abolish means destroy, or you can say that put an end to a system or practice or a requirement. Number two is vicissitudes. Vicissitudes means change in circumstances, and this change is typically unwelcome or unpleasant. You may not like this change. Number three is intriguing. Intriguing means unusual but interesting. It is actually someone's or something's tendency to draw attention in a way that inspires curiosity, which inspires your curiosity. So, intriguing is unusual, but this unusual is interesting. Now, let's come to the concluding part of our text. The author has no doubt that man will raise his intellectual status and give him greater power of reasoning and understanding to abolish war. He hopes that life will become more interesting, intriguing, and exciting in future. He wants to enjoy such kind of life. That is why he wishes to live another 100 years. So, students, the author brings an end to the text on an optimistic note and hopes to enjoy such kind of life where science would have made a slight advance in the field of spiritual and ethical values. I hope you have read and understood the text properly. Now let's do some post-reading activities. So the first activity that we are going to do is for your vocabulary expansion on the screen. Two columns have been displayed. You have to match the words under column A with their antonyms given under column B. I'm giving you some time for doing this activity. Read these words. You have learned these words while discussing the text. Read these words. First word is material, then creative, conquest, ultimate, less, abolish, justice, improvement. Yes, you have learned all these words while reading the text. I'm giving you some time. Now read the words given in column B. And match the words given in column A with their antonyms given in column B. I hope you have got your answers ready. So let's discuss these words now. The first word is material. Material is the opposite of spiritual. Yes, material, spiritual. Then next word is creative. Yes, creative means to create something with your imagination. And the opposite is destructive. That means to destroy something. Next word is conquest. Conquest, you all of you know, that means victory. When you win something or against somebody. So its opposite is defeat. Next is ultimate. Ultimate means final, the most important, and its opposite is unnecessary. Next word is less, and its antonym is more. Then the sixth word is abolish. Abolish also means to destroy, and its antonym is create. That means to make something with your imagination. And next is justice, and opposite of this word is injustice. And the last word given in column A is improvement, and its antonym is deterioration. So here comes another activity on your screen now. A few incomplete sentences from the text that you have read have been displayed on your screen with their answers that have been given to you below the incomplete sentences. You have to choose the correct answer and complete these incomplete sentences. I'm giving you some time for doing this. Read these blanks, read these incomplete sentences, find out their answers from the hints given below, and complete these sentences. Take your time. I hope you have found the correct answers. Let's discuss these incomplete sentences now. Due to increase in the average span of life, the upper age group is, yes, the upper age group is overcrowded. So first answer is overcrowded. Next, science is creating problems faster than, yes, what should be the answer? Faster than they can be solved. Then C part, man is struggling in a vicious circle. Then D part, one aim of science is the complete understanding of man's environment. Yes, man's environment, especially the material environment. Now, next is E part. The ultimate goal of science should go beyond material things. So, these are the correct answer. I hope you would have guessed all these correctly. So, let's move on to our next activity. A few questions will be displayed on the screen one by one, and then you have to answer these questions. You have to choose the correct options out of the three options given with each questions. So, our first question here is, what is really needed in the world today? And the options are new world shattering discovery, advances in material things, a small advance in ethical and moral values. I'm giving you some time for finding the answer. Yes, and the correct answer is a small advance in ethical and moral values. World really needs this today. Now look at the next question. Science has been helpless in these non-material things. A. Nuclear physics. B. Charity and tolerance. And C. Discovery in medicine. Which is the correct answer? Yes. Non-material things. And the answer is charity and tolerance. So, all of you know that science is doing less than nothing in these non material things. Now, look at the third question. What kind of improvement does the author expect in the human brain? Social, structural, or functional? What should be the correct answer? What kind of improvement does the author expect? Yes, think about the answer. And the answer is functional. The author hopes that there will be a functional improvement in the human brain in future. Now next question is, why does the author wish man to have sufficient reason and understanding? A. To have more powers. B. To abolish war. And C. To make life interesting. What is the correct answer? And the answer is man needs the power of reason and understanding to abolish war. Yes, the author hopes so. That one day science will help human beings to abolish war. Now, next question. What is author's attitude in this text? Is he optimistic or pessimistic or neutral? Yes, students, you have read the chapter. What is author's attitude towards his expectations with regard to non-material things? And the answer is optimistic. Author is quite hopeful that one day science will definitely help human beings to progress tremendously in case of non-material things. So I hope you have understood these questions properly. Let's move on to our next activity now. Our next activity is state whether true or false. So read these statements and find out which one is true and which one is false. I'm giving you some time for this. Read these statements. The first statement is charity, tolerance, and forbearance are non material things. Number two, science cannot even help us to distinguish good from evil. The third statement here is the ultimate goal of science should be to make life worthwhile. Number four, moral and spiritual values are unnecessary in this world. And number five, drugs have no positive effect on the human body. So think about these statements and decide which one is true and which one is false. You have some time for doing this activity. Well, students, if you look at the statements, the first one is charity, tolerance, and forbearance are non material things. Yes, that is true. These are non material things. Number two, science cannot even help us to distinguish good from evil, and it is also true. Number three, the ultimate goal of science should be to make life worthwhile. Yes, that's also true. Number four, moral and spiritual values are unnecessary in this world. This is false now. These are the most important things now that should be there in the world. Number five, drugs have no positive effect on the human body. And it is also false because if you remember, these drugs have increased the average lifespan here. So, students, now we have come to our last post reading activity, that is mind map. The mind map is a kind of graphic organizer. So the title of our topic has been placed in the center of the diagram shown here. Students, you can recreate the main ideas of the text with the help of the words given here. So read these hints given here and try to recreate the main ideas of the text. I'm giving you some time for doing this activity. Few hints are here. If you look at the right side of the diagram, material, non-material, less than nothing, machines, increased average span of life, creating problems without any solution, ultimate aim, optimistic. So these words are quite helpful in recreating the main points. I hope you have done your work. So let's try to sum up the whole text with this mind map. So, according to the author, science has just benefited us with regard to material things only. It has done less than nothing in case of non material things like charity, tolerance, justice, mercy, etc. Science has provided humans machines, and man can do even the impossible with the help of these machines. Science has helped in increasing the average span of life, but it is creating problems without giving any solutions. Its aims are only material, while the ultimate aim of science should be to make human life worthwhile on this earth. The author is quite optimistic that life will become more interesting, intriguing, and exciting in future. So dear students, I hope that all of you enjoyed this session of the online teaching and learning of the chapter Where is Science Taking Us from your main course book. Thank you very much.